Wait, Kev, do you want?
Just kidding.
Just kidding. Coming up on this episode of Brody Even Talk Pinball, we're going to go over news and updates.
We're going to have our top 10 early solid-state pinball machines.
And speaking of solid state, we're going to review Jungle Lord.
And your news, your Q&A, your questions, your tweets, your Discords, your emails, and more. All that and more coming up.
Double super jackpot!
Rudy doesn't want to talk.
A stroke?
Let's try again.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nick Lane. It's Kevin Manny of Buffalo Pinball.
I think you said he's got like an hour of those. I've seen 3 of them.
Are
they all just like minor tweaks that he does?
I'm too lazy to keep cutting them out of the video. That's why I keep using the same 3 of them.
Maybe there's some good ones though.
There are some good ones.
All right, all right. Let's do that next time. What's going on, guys? It's Monday, February 27th, almost at the end of the month here. This is our monthly podcast. I'm Nick Lane.
I'm Kevin Manny.
As Rudy just said.
Thank you.
And, we're going to talk about pinball.
We are. That's what we do because it's Brody Even Talk Pinball.
That's right. That's how this works, just in case you came here for gardening advice, which is weird.
Brody Even Garden.
Or just bro tips.
Yeah. Positive pinball. That's what we're going to have here tonight.
That's right.
So before we get into that, let's thank our partners. Nick, why don't you thank our partners?
I'm going to do this backwards.
All right. Oh, man.
Ready. All right, Tilt Cycle, tiltcycle.com. That's Dan Burfield out in Pittsburgh. Dan makes amazing upcycled pinball art. This is from old pinball arcade parts. He can make something totally unique for your game room that nobody else has, which is really cool. I'm a huge fan of the playfields that he makes that light up. And if you have any crazy ideas, just message Dan and he'll work with you, provided you're not a total lunatic. You can use coupon code Buffalo for 20% off. Pinball Arcade helped a lot of people get into pinball, including myself. They make virtual recreations of real pinball machines. I find that if you're a competitive player and you want to learn a machine, that's a great way to kind of learn the rules and pick up a strategy. You got Pin Stadium, which is the Mod of the Year award winner from This Week in Pinball Awards. Pin Stadium makes playfield lights, so you can light up your entire playfield. Their playfield lighting kits. You can see it from space. It's beautiful. He's got an awesome app where you can change the intensity. You can change the colors. You can take a picture of something in your game, and you can make those colors appear on your playfield.
It's like magic. Yeah.
That's 10% off when you use the code Buffalo. And then we got Community Beer Works. We're going to talk about them a little while later, but they're the local nano brewery. They make the best beer in Buffalo, not just because they pay us. It's God's honest truth, in my humble opinion. Titan Pinball makes silicone rings to replace the traditional rubber rings. At this point, they're so good that it's not obvious that they're not rubber, but they last longer. God bless Titan.
And can I just say I made the mistake of trying a non-Titan ring, silicone ring, and I instantly regretted it and replaced them.
This
so
is
don't
garbage.
do that.
Buffalo, use the code Buffalo for 10% off. Jersey Jack Pinball. Jersey Jack makes some of our favorite games. Dialed In, Wizard of Oz, Hobbit, and the new Pirates of the Caribbean. We're going to talk about that too. PinballLife.com. Pinball Life. Go to Pinball Life for your pinball parts, pinball resources. I just bought a ton of pinballs to replace the pinballs in my pinball machine because you need to do that once in a while. So listen, if you have a pinball machine, at the bare minimum, go to Pinball Life and buy their pinballs. First of all, especially if your game has magnets, for our business, we went someplace else because we tried to save $1, and guess what? The balls were magnetized, so don't do that. go to pinballlife.com. Double Danger makes, which is ddpinball.com, makes pinball swag shirts. You can get our Buffalo Pinball shirts. We've got 2 of them there. The traditional, like the hoodies that we wear, not hoodies, unfortunately, this T-shirts, and the Play Angry shirt. A bunch of other shirts and designs as well, which are all awesome, unique. They have a coupon code of Buffalo, which will give you 15% off. And then last but not least, Comet Pinball. Comet makes the best pinball shirt, period. And I also hear that they make some LEDs, too. I don't know about the quality of those, but the shirt is fantastic. Check it out, cometpinball.com.
Go buy a shirt and put in the notes that Nick Lane sent you.
That's right.
All right. Time to get into some pinball news. Well, first off, before we get in that, the chat room is going crazy about gardening now because of you. So
yeah,
we get questions about trees with black knot disease and when to plant the tomatoes.
Well, if you come out to Buffalo, I think this is in May. We have a garden walk event, or it might be in August.
Yeah,
at least Martha will go on the walk with you, me myself as well. But yeah, there you go. We'll do a little garden walking.
Buffalo garden walk. Yeah. Come join us.
One of our early dates. I was like, that's she wants to go garden walking. It's free. Sign me up. Boom. All right.
We're supposed to talk about pinball. So let's kick it off with some news. The most recent big story in pinball is Pinburgh tickets went on sale this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so at 12 o'clock, so if you've ever registered for Pinburgh, if you've never registered for it, let's run you down how it works. At 12 o'clock Eastern time, you go on your computer on the set date, and you hit F5 1,000 times until the button pops up, and you click it, you register your ticket for Pinburgh. Don't worry about the Replay FX ticket. You can get that later. Just get your Pinburgh ticket, and then you're good to go. You're a happy camper. You get to play in Pinburgh. Last year, it took 25 minutes. This year, it took 45 seconds.
And there's more people this year. There's
840,
which is an odd number, 840.
Yeah.
Is there any rhyme or reason that you know behind that?
I don't know.
I'm sure they know. It sounds like there's some exact science going on.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're running the numbers and making sure things are going to run smoothly for the number of tournament directors that they have and volunteers and techs and space and pinball machines, and there's a lot of considerations. So, it sold out in 45 seconds. So how it works is you buy your ticket, it goes into a queue, you have 15 minutes to complete your purchase, and then if for some reason you don't complete your purchase or somebody else says I got you a ticket, and you bail on the tickets that you were going for, a certain number of tickets came back available at 15 minutes, 12:15, and then a few more people got in, and now there's a wait list of 400 players.
400 now.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we were lucky enough, all the bros that wanted to go to Pinburgh.
We're all going.
Yep. Except Martha, because she doesn't Pinburgh.
She doesn't do that.
She doesn't Pinburgh. But yeah, we're all going to be there. It's going to be a good time. A number of folks from our chat room are going to be there. So yeah, it's going to be fun. We actually had a little Discord voice chat going while everybody was clicking the buttons and getting their tickets. So everybody's going to be in there, and we're gonna meet up at Arby's and have a meat mountain off. So
there's no doubt about that. Yeah. It's awesome that it sold out in 45 seconds. It's also unfortunate because there's a lot of people who want to go to Pinburgh, which is my favorite tournament, and obviously a lot of people feel that way. I think one of the things that contributed to so many people, this is the biggest Pinburgh at 840, so this is the largest number. Last year was 700, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was 800.
It was 800.
They bumped it up
to 40
by
people.
40. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the largest. They bumped it up by 40. I think one of the problems though, between the disparity of how many people want to go, how many people can get in, they're not doing Papa. Usually Papa was happening in April, right, or March, and I know a lot of people would decide maybe they can only go to one, right? There's a lot of overlap, no doubt, but now with that off the table, I think everyone's going to flood to Pinburgh, which is what happened.
Yep.
So it's a bummer that not everybody can go. I don't know what they could possibly do because 840 people for a pinball tournament is massive. This is
crazy.
This is crazy. I don't even know how you bump it up anymore. It's just so many, and this is pinball with machines breaking. There's a lot going on. It's not like pool tables, and I don't know how to compare it to anything else, but it's a massive undertaking. So it's a miracle that they're able to do that much. I know with our tournament, Buffalo Pinball Open, Summer Open, we had 130 people last year, up from 100 the previous year, And that's a lot of people.
It is.
That's a lot of people and a lot of work. I can't imagine timesing that by 8. Like, it's just insane. So
and the massive number of pinball machines they have because of the format.
Yeah.
And you're using you're using EMs all the way up to the most recent games. So it's like you're using games that are like 50 years old, and they're guaranteed something's going to break on them.
my
You know?
God.
I mean, they maintain their games great, but they're old, machines.
Kudos to them for doing that, because that's a lot of work, and it's unfortunate if anybody ever complains. You know, so how you counter that is make sure to thank all the folks who are bringing you Pinburgh, because inevitably the complaints are louder oftentimes, because, you know, if you're happy, generally you might not say anything, but make sure you go up and thank them for what they do, because Pinburgh is something special in the pinball community, and we're super fortunate to have that.
Yeah, thank your Tex. If you have to go get a ruling made, thank the tournament director that makes your ruling, even if it's not in your favor. You know, just be respectful, hang out and have a good time. Really looking forward to hanging out with everybody there, and man, I'm stoked that I got in. This is like, it's so fun.
I took it for granted until I read.
Yeah.
You know, I've been going to Pinburgh since 2011, and it would break my heart to miss one.
Yeah.
Because that's really the one tournament that I really care about. If I had to go to only one tournament only, it'd be Pinburgh.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there were some questions if we're going to Louisville, or I also saw the Texas Pinball Festival. I have no plans.
No, unfortunately, you know, you gotta pick and choose your pinball excursions because of time, and money, man. You know, there's only so much attention you can focus on this hobby, unfortunately. But as much as I'd love it to be my full-time job, it's not.
I know I can't make it to Allentown. I know we're getting sidetracked. I can't make it to Allentown this year, so I want to go to another tournament or a place that I haven't been. And you know how we were talking about going to like Columbus and Cleveland?
Yep.
So Martha's down for that.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe we'll try to make that happen. I'm thinking maybe like the last weekend in April,
Okay.
maybe around then, because the weather should be better.
Yep.
So more to come on that, but
I'm down for that. I love doing new pinball stuff.
Yeah, I know. That's such a cool thing. It's just a new city, a new pinball thing to do. And we'll make a weekend out of it. So hopefully, I'm guessing there's some tournaments then we'll take a look at, going to like Arcade Super Awesome, and then like the Happy Dog.
Oh yeah.
All right. So
grab a hot dog, play some pinball. It's gonna be a good time.
All right. Moving on.
What else we got going? Oh, so the big news broke about a week or so ago that Ben Heck, designer of America's Most Haunted, and you know, he designed the whole like electronic system for Spooky Pinball, the Pinheck board system. He's leaving Spooky. According to everything I've read, there's an interview up at thisweekinpinball.com that you can go check out. They've also posted on Pinside. They did a bunch of podcasts, so there's been a lot of coverage of this. But I wanted to at least mention it because I knew about Ben before he was into pinball, like, you know, early 2000s. I found out about him because he was making these portable versions of video game consoles like the Atari 2600 and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're a Ben Heck hipster.
I'm total Ben Heck. Like, you're a Lion Man hipster. I'm a Ben Heck hipster.
I have the pictures to prove it.
It's just I happen to be enough of a nerd that I was into the video game stuff when he was, and then I was like, oh wait, that's the Atari 2600 portable guy making pinball machines, and he's got a YouTube channel, and his YouTube show is going off. So he's ending his YouTube channel. He's leaving Spooky, and he's going to make a movie or something. He's a true Renaissance man.
Okay.
You know, so good for him. Who knows? Hopefully we'll see him back, because, you know, pinball's cool. And Ben, I think, while, you know, America's Most Haunted is neat, the build quality is kind of iffy on it, but the rules and the amount of thought and effort he put into that game really shows. And he really put that game over the top. So I'd love to see him come back and do something with Spooky in the future.
Awesome.
So, all right. Here's the biggest news. You guys hear about Supreme Pinball?
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. I saw that. That's not even. Moving on.
No, we're showing it. So what we're seeing is a retheme of Stern's Spider-Man Home Edition in a full-size cabinet.
Oh, it's a full-size cabinet.
Yeah, with the coin door and everything.
Did they have to make the playfield bigger?
No, I guess the playfield is full-size in those home cabinets.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So if for the listeners at home who are not seeing this, it's red and white and black, and that's it. and it says Supreme about 1,000 times on it.
I don't even know what Supreme is. It's a skateboard thing?
Yeah, like a, I guess, streetwear kind of company.
Supreme.
There you go.
I don't know anything about this or that. I can care less.
I know nothing of Supreme. Before
it gets people playing pinball who don't normally play pinball.
Yeah.
Cool.
I went on and searched around a little bit before we went live to see if they had announced the price of this yet, and they
It's
haven't.
a pizza. FFS. Nailed it.
It's a pizza box.
Yeah.
That's awesome. you get your pepperoni, you get your sausage, you get your whatever else.
All right.
But yeah, it's a retheme of the Spider-Man Home Edition in a full-size cabinet. It's a Supreme, red, white, and black. It's going to probably be a ridiculous price because that's what they do. They literally sold a brick with the Supreme logo on it, and people bought it. This is just like this kind of brand that they release things, and it's a limited edition, and people run out and buy it all, and then they resell it for ridiculous prices.
Sure, life doesn't make sense. I get it. I just threw a caution. I don't care anymore. Nothing makes sense to me. I've stopped trying.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how many they make and what the price is going to be. Do I think it's going to have a huge impact on introducing 1 million new people to pinball? No. But maybe a few people will go, hey, if pinball's still a thing, maybe I'll check it out.
Did it introduce new people to bricks?
Let's see.
All right.
And we got a whole bunch of Masons.
Okay. All right.
Masonry just went off the charts. All the mortar was sold out.
All right.
So there you go. Supreme Pinball. It's the latest machine from Stern. Speaking of Stern, they hired 3 new coders.
Good.
Yes.
Good. That's where they needed the help.
They put the money where they needed it.
Good.
And
that's great news.
Shout out to Tim Sexton, a player we've played with a number of times. He's from the New York area. Big congratulations to him. He's going to help bring their games up to the next level.
Tim's perfect because his mind works in a very thoughtful way towards thinking about rules in a way that I have like no interest. And a lot of people, but to hear him talk when he's on the Slam Tilt podcast and he breaks things down, it's very on point. You can follow the logic and you can follow the rationale. So what a great asset that Stern is picking up.
I remember the first time I saw Tim online, I think you had pointed me to a thread he was posting on Facebook about Whopper points at the Super League, I think it was. And it was just this ridiculous breakdown of like all the points and everything. And I was like,
you could say make anything. Like, I trust you.
I was like, I like this guy already. He's great.
Math. God
so,
bless you.
Congratulations, Tim.
Yeah.
Go kill it at Stern.
All right.
Speaking of code and Stern, new AC/DC code.
Yeah.
What? Why? That game was great, right? And now it's even better.
I guess. What are the big changes? Are the only thing that sticks out? I think you mentioned it or saw a summary. It's like basically it's easier to get multi-ball.
Yeah, so it takes less shots the first time around to light the multi-balls, and then it's only 1 additional from there on out.
Okay.
So it's going to be even more left ramp all day, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of weird because that game I feel like you're always in multi. I mean, that's all there really is.
That's what you do.
Because you don't play like to complete the songs and then go to the next song. You're just multi-balling all day, which is why I sold mine. I just kind of got bored of it as a single-player game.
Yeah, I can see that. But it's good. I like to see him putting the polish on these little games like The Walking Dead.
No complaints.
It's amazing.
Positivity.
All day. Keeping it positive. And Guardians of the Galaxy is up to 0.87 at least. They may have done another one since
What
then.
a joke. I'm sorry.
Where'd your positivity go?
I'm sorry. You said Guardians of the Galaxy 0.87. We're not even at 1 yet. That's not even a joke. I couldn't hold it in.
It was a valiant effort,
so
sir.
Honest.
Valiant effort.
I can't help but be honest.
So yeah, Boboli Bobo probably still all day and Groot all day, but baby steps. We're getting there. Tim, we need you to get to work on Guardians, buddy.
Real quick. Real quick.
All right. Moving on. I wanted to get your take on Kingpin. Is rumored to be remade by Circus Maximus. Circus Maximus is the company that kind of took on the job of rebuilding Pinball Circus as
okay.
Python
Forgot all
Angelo.
about that.
Remember, Python Angelo was dying. They said, "All right,
Yeah.
as his like dying wish, we're going to make this machine." I don't think they've completed that and brought any out.
Totally forgot about
Yeah.
that. That's the last time I heard anything about that was like well over a year ago.
Yeah,
Not that I went looking, but
yeah. If it was happening, we would have heard about it. You know,
right, exactly.
But now they're talking about making a Kingpin, and they've shown pictures of the guys working on a playfield, and on the underside you can kind of see that the inserts line up with what would be Kingpin. I don't know if you have any thoughts on it. Is that something that interests you?
Yeah, I'd like this. You know, I've known about Kingpin ever since getting in the hobby. I know that there's like less than 10 of them. That never was a game that was never released. So there's always that intrigue. Oh, here's a game that wasn't released. It was, you know, talking about mid 90s. Like the theme, I like that. It's kind of that gangster theme from like the 30s, right? So that's cool. It's interesting making a game that was never released because the game could be total garbage. You don't know. I mean, when you remake a game that had like a limited run, like Medieval Madness, like you know what you're getting, and you know it's going to be good, and it's like, okay, how can this go wrong? People are still going to want this game no matter what, so I'm sure Circus Maximus will do well. Yeah, I'm excited. It's great that we're resurrecting a game that never saw the light of day. I'm looking forward to trying it out. Do you know what the price point is?
They haven't. I have no idea.
I hope it's affordable. I mean, that's the only thing. Like, it would be great if it came out at like, call me a dreamer, 6,000, 7,000 at the most. And now it's like, maybe I'm gonna buy this game.
Yeah, it's kind of it makes it a little more of a realistic expectation at that point. And the thing that worries me is like it's a prototype game. What's the code like? You know, is it good?
Right.
Hashtag where's the code?
Well, exactly. And you're also competing nowadays with games that have LCDs. So you're releasing an older game that's maybe not polished code wise, maybe very basic too. This is a game that came out or was going to come out in the mid 90s. So I kind of shy away from a lot of those 90s games just because nowadays we're just got better rule sets in pinball machines.
Right.
So we'll see. That's awesome. And this is all good news every time we hear about a new game coming out.
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, just for the pure fact of actually being able to play it someday. Like, I think the only place you can really ever play it consistently is at California Extreme.
Yeah.
I think there's somebody that takes it out there every year, and I'm probably never going to go there. So otherwise, I'm probably never going to play this game. So awesome, make it happen, Circus Maximus.
What's really weird is you don't have anything on the list about Bible Adventures.
I don't. No, I don't. Speaking of Ben Heck and what is it? Deep Root. Yeah,
Deep Root.
They're going to make a Bible Adventures game or something. I guess.
God bless them.
Nailed it.
Okay.
It was just all a setup so you could get to that punchline, wasn't it?
Not really. I don't think that far in advance.
All right.
All right.
Deep Root, if they ever make a pinball machine, we'll talk about them more. How about that?
Okay, fair enough. All right.
All right.
We'll get there. I'm kind of excited just to talk about it.
It's gonna be interesting.
Okay.
All right. So last piece of news, shout out to Bruce, is Jersey Jack Pinball. They've been live streaming straight from the developers of the game. Check out JJP
Live.
That's it.
Yep.
On Twitch.
So that's Eric and Kiefer was on one day when I saw it.
Yeah.
I missed the last one. Was Joe Katz on?
Oh yeah, Joe's always there. Joe's usually running the production stuff, but he'll
Okay.
hop on and play. So
nice.
Joe, Kiefer, and Eric have been breaking down the game, showing you all the rules, running through all the good stuff. And they do a great job, and it's getting better. So if you want to see the game, you want to see a breakdown of it from the guys that made the game, check it out, JJP Live on Twitch.
That's awesome. It's good to see somebody who's creating a game put out a stream, and then as they're building the game, as they're putting the game together and developing it, and then be able to have that real-time conversation with potential buyers and future players. So that's awesome. Good on them for doing so.
Absolutely. So and they you can see they're really passionate about it too. That's what I'd love to see.
She got gifted it.
Oh, there you go, Holly Weird.
Holly Weird.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Holly Weird.
It's Twitch stuff if you're listening to the podcast.
Yes, it's all good. Awesome. So check out JJP Live. Let's get into some updates. What's been going on in our game rooms, in our pinball lives, because we do a lot of pinball stuff. I'm going to talk about a non-pinball thing to kick it off. I'm going to talk about how I didn't kill myself fixing a monitor for a pinball machine, or for an arcade game. I have a Neo Geo arcade cabinet, and the monitor has been on the fritz for probably at least a year. And, I've kind of been putting it off. I'm like, it's fine. I can play it for a little while, and then it gets bad. Turns out, I won't get too technical, but there's a thing on the back of the monitor. It's called the flyback, and it needed to be replaced. And in order to replace it, you have to discharge the monitor, and there's like a ridiculous amount of voltage in a monitor that could kill you. And it didn't kill me, and I feel really good about that.
Congrats on not dying.
I'm still here to podcast, so I didn't die. But the good news is I didn't die, and the monitor looks great again, so I'm really excited. And it's kind of got me like back into the arcade side of the hobby, which is cool. So next year I'm going to get back in our local Western New York coin op collectors night and start doing that again. So I have a little less on my plate in my life then. Going to be done with college, grad school, all that stuff. So we'll get back into some of that stuff. So that'll be fun. I got my Pac Man dance party light. We can't see him over there, but if you guys want a cool mod for your or decoration for your game room, check it out. It's a Pac Man Ghost LED light. You can check it out on Amazon. It's got a mode where it just like changes colors, and then there's also one that reacts to sound and music. So you can. I'm just fascinated by Nick. I also have a wireless charging pad on my desk that Nick's playing
That
with.
sucks.
It's distracting to me.
It stopped. It stopped working.
It works fine on my phone, so I think it's your phone.
It could be.
It might be your case, actually. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
So all right. So get yourself a Pac-Man Ghost Light and have a dance party. And what else? Oh, I've been thinking about, speaking of arcade games, I've been thinking about maybe. So right now I have a gun game. It's a Maximum Force Area 51 duel game, and I'm thinking about getting a big buck hunter.
You should.
Shooting game.
Like a really old one or like a cooler new one?
Like not one of the ridiculous new ones, because those are like $7,000, and I don't want to spend that much on a big buck hunter. I'll get probably like a mid 2000s big buck hunter pro.
2-player game?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, totally do it.
Two
How
guns.
much should they go for?
I don't know. I think like between 500 and 1,000 would be my guess.
Nothing for a rich kid.
I know, nothing. And when you're buying pinball machines for a
sarcastic.
ridiculous amount of money.
Hashtag also positivity. Hashtag sarcasm. Could be both.
What I'll end up doing is probably selling the Maximum Force Area 51 and then buying the big buck hunter with that. So
all right.
That's how we're gonna make that happen. See, bulk of the series said $800.
Yeah.
So
I prove that move all day long.
there you go. You got to keep the game room fresh. It's a good thing. The gun games are cool because people who come over and they don't like pinball, or like I had my family here and they were playing the racing games and the gun games, and so it's nice to have stuff that everybody likes out here. So what's happening in your pinball world?
So I'm gonna start off with a shout out to Playfield Protectors. Is it playfieldprotectors.com? Can you just do some quick on the fly?
I can. Yes,
I can't. We'll
you
get this
talk,
right.
I'll Google.
But here's the deal. I know I mentioned this back in a podcast in October. I had ordered some, and I haven't installed it on one of my games yet, which is Jungle Lord. But we installed it on one for the business, which is the Fathom. I mean, it's a nice Fathom. We want to protect it. It's out in the wild, and I love that product because here's the deal. You got a game like Fathom. You want to protect it, but you also want to put it out for people to play. We're not going to clear coat it because it just takes so much time, energy, effort. So we get these Playfield protectors. You can go to playfield-protectors.com, and it's this clear overlay. It will go over the playfield, and you don't have to strip the entire playfield like you would if you're clear coating a machine. You got to take some things off, like the flippers, etc. But it's far less time consuming, and it works great. Another cool benefit of putting it like on an older game, the game has cupped inserts. You don't have to worry about that because now you've got this flat surface that is covering the cupped inserts, and the ball goes super smooth. It's great. The only issue we had on Fathom, we had to kind of shave a little bit one of the edges because the ball was getting stuck on the spinner, but not a big deal or issue at all. I would totally recommend that product. So check it out, playfield-protectors.com.
There you go.
So what else is going on? I've been playing. You're gonna be hearing a lot of this all the time. I've been playing a lot of VR.
Ooh.
That's my like gaming in my spare time. I play it like every day or every free chance I get. So many awesome games in VR. Again, if you guys haven't done that yet, do yourself a favor and seek it out and try it. So much fun. It's the future here now.
It's happening.
It's happening, finally.
I know.
It's finally.
That dream of your 90s teenage
waiting
years, yeah.
Since a 14-year-old in 1994 when they hyped up VR, and then it never came.
There was Lawnmower Man, there was Johnny Mnemonic, and then you went and you put on
Yeah.
those crappy helmets and made you sick, and you're like, this is garbage.
We watched. Martha got the. Martha found out there's an episode on Murder She Wrote. Bear with me, guys. She found out there's an episode on Murder She Wrote called like a virtual murder. And it was done in 1993, so yeah, just run wild with that. She went to the library, because she's the only person who goes to the library still, and got out Murder, She Wrote. Spoiler alert, they had every copy of Murder, She Wrote at the library still.
What? They weren't all checked out?
No.
How can that be?
They had to fight people for that episode.
It's amazing.
So, yeah, I don't know how we got to that. But
if you want to see Angela Lansbury in VR goggles, there you go. Go to your local library and make it happen.
It's incredibly stupid.
Is it? I need to see it.
But
that's what you
want.
want.
Though, they were talking about it like they were right. It was like, it's coming out tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And it took... Well, that came out in 93.
Like 20 years.
13 years later. It really came out, you could say, in 2016 with the Vive and Oculus Rift. Anyways, that's part of my gaming. So we're actually going to move the upstairs pinball game room and move the pinball machines downstairs eventually, and that's going to be a VR room.
Ooh.
Dedicated VR room.
So no more auxiliary pinball room. You're going to have a VR room.
No, but we're going to take out like we're clearing more room. So we're not going to have less machines. We're still going to have like
that's important.
12, 13 machines. So we're good. Thoughts and prayers.
It was a close call.
All right, but some other things that are going on in the pinball world. We've got a Community Beer Works pinball tournament for charity. It's for the they actually switched charities on me because I know everybody differently. So
it's okay. It's still good charity.
I don't say anything. But it's for the Boys and Girls Club of North Towns in Buffalo, and it's going to be a pinball weekend. They're calling it, but it's even longer than that. It's going to start not this Thursday, but next. What's next Thursday, Kevin?
I have no idea.
11th, 10th, 8th.
There you go.
11.
You keep talking. I'll figure out what date it is.
So it's going to start March 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe we're going to do a bro show down there then.
Okay.
And then on Friday, they're going to re-release Rage Tilt, which is their pinball beer. Which
inspired by Nick Lane.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Makes sense, right?
It does.
And then Saturday, we're going to be doing a come take like a pinball lesson. So for $5, you get a half an hour lesson with like groups of 3. $5 goes to charity. Come down, drink some Rage Tilt. We'll teach people how to play pinball. And then on Sunday is the charity tournament. It's going to be a pump and dump from 11 to 4 p.m. And then playoffs at 4 p.m. Just kind of quick. It's $1 per entry that goes to the Boys and Girls Club. And then you still got to coin them up on the machine. We're putting the machines there, my side business, Buffalo Pinball and Arcade Company. And half the profits from that is going to Boys and Girls Club.
Nice.
So there you go.
There you go. Good times.
Fun times. Do we have an update from the Buffalo Pinball Summer Open?
Here's the update.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Look at that.
It's gonna be time for a new one soon.
It is.
Got a lot more lineup.
If you guys, here's something you can email us for. So email talkpinball@gmail.com. Send us graphics of your favorite Yacht Rock album cover, and I will Photoshop certain ones for the Summer Open.
There you go. I mean, Jay found them all, so I don't know who's gonna dig up something else.
I want a chat room challenge to see if they can they can top Jay Fairbrother. So if you hadn't heard the Buffalo Pinball Summer Open, that's our Stern Pro Circuit event. It's happening August 17th to 19th down at the Sandy Beach Yacht Club. That's why we're talking Yacht Rock. And if you want to learn more about it, go to buffalopinball.com/summer open. The pre-tournament, which is taking place on the 16th, run by our friend Steve Daniels. He's going to do a Flipper Frenzy tournament, which we've never done here in Buffalo, so I'm looking forward to trying that. And so he's going to run that. He had a cap of 50 players maximum. It already sold out. So that bodes well for the rest of the tournament.
It does indeed. And so this is the unofficial announcement, but we are making plans to have a women's tournament. So more to come on that. That's a preview. It's been in demand, and we're going to make that happen.
Yep. And there might also be boat cruises.
That's right. We're not done, man. It's going to be just a lot coming.
It's a lot of ins and outs.
A little boat cruise. Yeah.
Little boat cruise.
All right. A sunset cruise, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's going to be a romantic pinball cruise.
I say, bring your yacht outfit. I'm not joking around. Come on. You're going to look foolish going on the sunset cruise without your yacht outfit.
Yeah, you'll be the silly looking one.
Yes, that's right.
Not us.
All right. Let's go on. So we're going to give you our list of the top 10 early solid state pinball machines. So these are our personal favorites. There might be some absent from the list. They're like, how could you not put that there? I've already anticipated
there will be some of those, because even
there's a lot
making
of
my
machines.
list, I was like, oh, I want to put this on there, but I can only have 10. So.
Yeah, like there's some there's one in particular where I'm like, everybody likes this game, or like it always comes up and it's valuable, but it did not make my list because I respect it, but I don't love it.
Before we get into that, Pinball Evangelist says, guys, are you running the Flip Frenzy comp? I have a really good Excel sheet to help you manage it. Steve Daniels is running it, so if you're Facebook friends with him, you can send it to him or email it to talkpinball@gmail.com and we'll get it to him.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, so when I was going through my list, I was like, all right, these need to be games that I've played at least a decent amount of, and I'm somewhat familiar with.
Other thing,
because there's great games out there that I know people talk about all the time. Like I hear Bruce and Ron talking about like Dragon Fist and what are the other ones? You know, a lot of the Stern ones that I haven't played that much, so I can't put them on my list.
That's the other thing. And there's a lot of early solid state machines. Let's also take a moment just to define what early solid state means.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a fast and hard definition, but the one I always tell people or run around my mind is late 70s, early 80s.
Yep. I went like 78 to like 84, 85.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Generally they don't have ramps.
Yeah.
Almost never.
No alphanumeric displays, just number displays.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the time period when pinball went from EMs to solid state. It's the very beginning of that. Think of it in those terms.
Yep, absolutely.
And the companies around Bally, Stern, Game Plan,
Williams.
Oh man,
see, he already thought of another one. It's not on the list. You gotta revise your list real quick.
What's coming off?
Yeah, see, bulk of the series. RoboCop doesn't count. It's too late. All right, so you want me to kick it off with my number 10?
Yeah, I'm not going to take anything off.
All right.
It bums me out because I do have a game
we could have
like.
a honorable mention.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, fair enough.
All right, so I'm going to kick it off
number 10
with my number 10. It's the game that's sitting right behind me. It's Vector. It's a game that a lot of people hate. I happen to like a lot. It's like the Jersey Jack pinball of its time. It has just a ton of stuff in it.
Whoa, that's an
packed
insult
Playfield.
to Jersey Jack.
No,
pinball.
it's not. They're both amazingly packed machines. They just threw everything in the kitchen sink into this game.
They did. There's
and
no
it's
denying
not,
that.
What I like about it is it's not just a lot of these. As I was going through this list, a lot of these games are just light the spinner, rip the spinner, which is great. It's fun, but this game isn't. It's got the rows of defenders that pop up. You got to get it past them. It's pretty one-dimensional. You want to get it past them, lock the ball, get your multi-ball going. But I have a blast with it. It's a beautiful looking game. It's got a crazy backlash with a weird theme, and Greg Ferris art. And there you go. It's Vector.
All right. My number 10 is Countdown. It's a game that I've probably played more than any other solid state. I got that game in 2012, and I still have it, even though I don't own it. I was going to sell it, and Martha bought it. The beauty of Countdown from Gottlieb is that it's almost like an EM. I mean, this is, again, you can see the transition.
It's like right there.
Yeah, it is right there. It's very basic. There's only one pop bumper, but there's 16 targets on the game. There's no spinners. The 16 targets, I mean, it makes this game a shooter's game. It's really easy to explain to people. It's got an open play field. It's got 4 flippers. Some of the shots are sort of not accessible other than sort of like luck falling into it. But it's just a great game, and the art in it is fantastic. I absolutely love the art on that era of Gottlieb. Like Genie's another game that has great art, but just something special about Countdown. Looks great in a game room. Highly recommend it.
And there's beauty in the simplicity. It's like just hit the drop targets. That's what you do. I knew that game was going to be on your list.
I'm making a change. So this is sort of weak.
Weak.
Well, I've only played. Well, I'll get there. I'll tell the story.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Number 9 for me. It's not a game I've played a lot, but what I've played of it, I like. It's Sea Witch, Stern Sea Witch.
That was my 9. It got knocked off.
There you go.
It got knocked off for this game. So
okay, all right. So it would have been there for both of us, and Nick just modded his list real quick. But Sea Witch, I like what I remember and I like about it a lot is the art is okay. It's the theme is cool, but the unusual layout of it is what I like. Those upper flippers that can hit those loops up top and just drop targets galore.
I'm just catching up with the chat. I agree. I did have that number 9.
Okay.
It's a unique game.
Yeah.
It's a unique game. The art's okay on it. it's desirable. Like I'd be happy if we had one locally to play.
Yeah, it'd be nice if there was one on location at Game On or something.
Well, I just gave you guys Fathom. Come on. Come on.
My expectations are high now. We'll
see what we can do.
Raise that level.
We'll see if we can find a $1,000 Sea Witch.
Real quick.
Well, whatever. Even $300 Sea Witch.
Yeah,
whatever.
that sounds good.
So my number 9 that I just edited on the fly when I mentioned game plan, it reminded me of a game that I absolutely love playing, and I discovered, at Pinburgh or Papa years ago, and that's Pinball Lizard.
Nice.
I love that game. I love lighting the spinner. I love how it feels. I love the shots in the game. I can't talk as in-depth with that game as I can with some other ones on this list, just because I haven't played it a ton, but it's a game that I really would love in my collection. It's rather unique in its design. So yeah, that's Pinball Lizard by Game Plan.
That's not a game I've played a lot, but I remember seeing it because I'm like, at the time I was really into Grand Lizard and I wanted to get a Grand Lizard. I'm like, what is this?
I don't know what it is. There's not many games where I just like always look forward to playing in competition or always like it, and like that game for whatever reason is just, I don't know.
Cool.
I see it. I'm excited when it's like in a bank of games.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever. It's not a game that's ever gotten pulled for me for competition. So I'll have to try it out at Pinburgh this year for sure.
Yeah.
All right, number 7 or 8.
Number 8.
Number 8. I can count. Meteor. Stern, right? It's a Stern game.
Stern Meteor.
Yeah. I like the challenge of hitting drops, but not all the drops, and then
cool.
ripping that spinner.
That's what makes Meteor special.
It's like you want to do the thing, but not quite enough. And usually you want to just clear drop target banks. And while that can be confusing, I imagine for new players, it's like, why is this happening? But I like that about it. It's a really good rip the spinner game with a slight change to the rule set that kind of keeps you on your toes.
Agreed. That's like an honorable mention for me. Like it could easily be on this list, and I think I had it written down at some point, but it came off. And my number 8 is Stern Stars.
Oh, there you go. That's an honorable mention for me.
Yeah, like that edges out Meteor for me. I love the fact that you've got 2 spinners to rip. Right, so that's the commonality thing. But what's cool about that is, again, that's a shooter's game where you're hitting these stars around the playfield, and that when you hit them all. Not when you start hitting them, it will also increase the value of the spinner, which is fun. But also when you hit them all, there's a roving like shot that you have to hit. So that's cool. But it's also like a sort of basic game too. It's got some cool rules, and yet it's basic. It's got that almost like an EM feel to some extent.
Yeah.
Really good game, really challenging, and there's been a recent love of Stars. I was a Stars hipster. I just never owned one.
See, you're the Stars
But
hipster.
now everybody wants that damn game.
Yeah. We're lucky enough to have one at the Silver Ball Saloon to go check out.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Bruce. That was number 8.
Okay, number 7. Possibly the greatest mustache in pinball, second only to Roger Sharp. It's Skateball.
Oh, Skateball.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. This has a special place in my heart because it was in the bank last year when I got my perfect 12 on at Pinburgh.
Okay.
And I did the thing where you just like keep nailing that saucer and collecting the bonus, and I just did it over and over, and it was like, yes, I love this game. So ever since I've had it, ever since I see Skateball, and I'm like, yes, I love that game. It was good to me. I'm sure it'll like destroy me this year, but that one time, it was great. It's got great art, cool, 70s skateboard theme, and it's not a rip the spinner game. It's like you shoot the saucer and collect the saucer.
Yeah, it's got a cool layout too. I mean, that's a game that probably would find its way in the top 20. I completely forgot about that game.
Yeah,
it's not a top 10 for me, but it's a great game.
Yeah.
That's
the thing. There's so many good early solid state games,
and yeah, I love solid state games. By the way, if you guys haven't noticed. So, my number 7 is Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon by Bally, early 80s. Ooh. That is. I've heard people toss this title out as maybe the greatest single ball game of all time. Whether that is or not, it is a cool game. It's got the upper playfield. I think it's the first Bally with an upper playfield. I think it beat that one. It's got the inline drops. It's got that cool when you kind of plunge the ball. You're trying to hit these targets as soon as it comes out of the gate. It's fast. It's brutal. Lots of love about it. It's got some speech that's memorable. It looks pretty good. Very fun machine. I always am happy to play Flash Gordon, and I only wish I owned one.
I couldn't bring myself to put this on my list because it's just such an ass kicker. That game is so freaking brutal. Oh my god!
Yeah, that's what's so love about it. Yeah.
If you want to see a great game of that, watch Robert Gagno playing it in the Papa Finals. Was it 2 years ago? Okay. And when he won on it, that was the game he won the championship on.
All right, did he destroy it?
Oh yeah, it's an amazing game.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That was number 7. So we're number 6.
Number 6, Medusa. Medusa, a beautiful game. It's one of those games that the values just shot through the roof on. We were fortunate enough to have a collector here that has a very beautiful one. We streamed it. If you want to go on our YouTube channel and check that out, but I love the getting it up to the upper playfield and then the flippers closing and all that cool upper playfield action. It's one of the things that knocked it down to the not in the upper echelon on my list because it's just like get it up in that upper playfield and that's where all the action happens. So that's a slight negative for it. That's what knocked it down, but otherwise love that game. It's got that cool skill shot too, which is really neat.
Medusa's well, it's not on my list. And I thought about it. That's a game to me that I know it's desirable and it goes for a lot, but it's just, I don't know, it doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is because, okay, the art's solid, looks like a good game. Everything you said I agree with, and yet just not compelled to have it. I think it might be the upper playfield problem where you just get it up there and just keep it going. And you can keep it going for a while.
Yeah, maybe if I owned it, I'd be like, all right, that's enough.
I think that's the thing. I can kind of play it out of my mind, and it's like I can see myself getting bored of it really quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so my number 6 is 8-Ball Champ, which is might be a surprise to some people, but I really dig that game. Again, you're going to see some commonalities in my list. It's got an open play field. Again, it's a shooter's game where you have targets all over the play field to try to hit. Now, there is a strategy you can use in the tournament with just sort of hitting the shot, which Kevin utilized that in last league night.
I did the
but
thing.
you can nerf that through some ROMs. But at the heart of it, I love the rules. I love kind of just hitting all the shots and utilizing the whole play field. It's got that kind of design that Fathom has where you can hit the upper right flipper and it will send it and back into
that saucer.
Into the saucer. It's got double play field. It's got triple play field. It's a single ball game too, interestingly enough. And I prefer that game over 8-Ball Deluxe, which 8-Ball Deluxe is a solid game, but there's just much more to do on 8-Ball Champ. Great game. I don't think it's on a lot of people's radar, and I highly recommend it.
Oh, 8-Ball Deluxe is another one that should have been on my list, but damn it,
yeah,
there's so many good ones. You can only pick somebody. I like 8-Ball Champ though, and not just because I destroyed it in League. It like you said, I like that you have to shoot all over the playfield and hit all those targets. It's not just one shot kind of game. It's fun.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
That was number 6. On number 5.
Number 5 for me is 9-Ball. So 9-Ball. I remember seeing it the first time and going, I don't have no idea what's going on with this game. But once somebody explains what's going on and, lighten that spinner and then ripping it. And then if you can hit it again and keep it going before it stops and, just like collect the heck out of that spinner. That's what really sold me on it. And it's in a really weird spot, which I also like. So it's just kind of like hanging out in the middle of the playfield. That's what did it for me. It's also got cool space sounds and stuff like that, which is a plus.
It's a cool game. I thought about it being on my list again. It's one of those games that is pretty desirable. It's not like crazy prices like some of them. I had a chance to buy like a clear coated one at Allentown like for $1,300 like 3 years ago, and I wish I had it now.
Yeah.
Not on my list, but I like it. Some of the rules are a bit wonky, and it's like, I try to understand it, but I just sort of lose interest. And I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a cool game.
Maybe that would be a plus for it, having it at home, having a slightly different rule set,
possibly
because it's got the drop targets are like individually controlled and stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare. Like it's going to break all the time.
Not good for a Nick Lane house.
No, not necessarily, but yeah, good choice. So that was number 5 for Kevin. My number 5 is Harlem Globetrotters. Absolutely love the game. It's sort of there's a sort of simplicity to it, but what's great is you got first of all 3 spinners. All right, and 3 spinners in any game, very fun, very cool. Then you've got the inline drops, and it's a bally. You've got gates that open and close. You've got the 3 flippers, 2 on the left side, which can open up, and the ball can go through there. It can be a fast, brutal game that's challenging. It's just sort of like, in my opinion, this perfect design of a game. Simple, yet just almost perfect and elegant. Love that game. So good. I really want have a nice one day where like a clear-coated playfield or something like that. That's what I dream of. I know Tommy Skinner recently got a really nice one. He was asking me about Playfield Protectors, so
he's been really showing it off on Instagram too. He's showing off,
rubbing it in, man.
Yeah, he's
just rubbing
doing that for you.
Good for you, dude. It's a great game. Love to upgrade mine sometime, but that's my number 5. Harlem Globetrotters.
When you hit the start button, it plays Sweet Georgia Brown, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
It's always a reason to hit that start button. All right, number 4 for me, it's Viking. Bally Viking, not a real common one. One that I owned for a short while, but technical issues got the best of me, and I sold it off. But really cool art, unique layout. It's got a bunch of inline drop targets. It's got the cross playfield shot that kind of snakes around, kind of like skateball, that you can use to like just cash in bonus, and just so you can get it cranked way up, hit the spinner to build your bonus, and then just collect it over and over and over. Hit the drop targets to build up your multiplier. And then if you can it's one of those games where you need to line everything up and make it all happen. And when you do that and you get it going, it's just awesome and super rewarding. It kind of reminds me of Walking Dead a little bit in that way. It's like the games where you can make it happen and make it blow up. It's really satisfying.
So I like Viking. I just haven't played it as much. And also Kevin's had some issues. So I've never really had quality experience on it and enough time on it. But I like the fact that I like Matahari. And it looks like Matahari got inline drops, right? And some spinners, and
Vikings.
Sounds, amazing, right? Like, so I think if I spent more time, I think if I had a really nice one, that would make the top 10. I'd imagine. It's just because of that, it's not on there.
Understandable. What's your number 4?
So my number 4 is Jungle Lord, and
ooh, nice.
In Jungle Lord is like one of 3 or 4 games. You got Pharaoh, you got Black Knight. Is it Solar? Whatever.
Grand Lizard is kind of like it too. But
no, it's not that though. But this is like there's an era they made 4 games like the upper playfield. I know you mean, but I haven't spent much time on Pharaoh. I played a little bit, but I don't know. I love Jungle Lord because it's a game that utilizes the entire playfield and all the shots. There's just not necessarily one thing to do. Right out of first of all, it's brutal. I remember playing it at Pinburgh and just everybody just draining instantly. And I'm like, oh my god, I want to play this game again and again.
Yep.
Because it is so challenging. It's got timed targets up at the top. You start off by hitting 1 drop target on the upper playfield. Then if you do that, then 2 come up. You do that, then 3. Then when you clear them all, become like 1 pops up, but it's in timing. So if you can do it quickly, you can get a lot of points that way. To get into multi-ball on the lower playfield, there's a bunch of shots to hit. You've got targets on the left and right, which you got to clear them in a certain time period. That's what's cool because it's you got to be quick on it. Then you've got a nice turnaround shot that will give you the bonus multiplier. Not to mention there's a timed multi-ball. There's ball saves on it. If you hit this super tight shot on the left, it will put like ball saves on the out lanes. There's a lot going on in that game. You can have some longer ball times, but most of the time it's just a brutal game with a lot to do. And there's that pachinko element to the game, which I can take it or leave it. But it has so much going on in it that I highly recommend Jungle Lord.
What I'll say about Jungle Lord is I thought it was going to be ineligible for this because in my mind, it's like a late 80s game because of everything in it.
It's 81.
There's like so much happening in there. I consider it more of like a Swords of Fury era game rather than like a I don't know, whatever else is on our list, like Medusa or something like that. There's just so much happening it's feature packed. Really cool game.
And I didn't even mention that it's got magnet saves.
It does,
which works differently than Black Knight. I like the way it works on this game because when you hit it, it doesn't hold it. It just kind of
it wobbles.
Yeah, it pulses it. So you can kind of like tap it a couple times to get to go in what direction you want to. Super cool.
And then sometimes it'll just take it and throw it on the opposite out lane too. So that's always fun. But that's the downfall. It's not always a magnet save. All right, number 3, Stargazer for me. Stargazer, pretty rare game. I had one here for a little while. It was inoperable when it was here, though. It was not my game, so it wasn't mine to mess with. But now it's out at Silver Ball Saloon, and I played a decent amount on it. Great spinner rip game. Just build up the value on the spinners or rip the heck out of it. I like the unusual configuration of the flippers. There's no in lanes. It's got those little like rollovers right by the flippers. Cool art. really a lot to love about Stargazer.
Yeah. So my number 3 is Paragon. So
Ooh, nice.
This is a game. It's a wide body from Bally, and generally speaking, when a game's a wide body, I sort of lose interest, or it's already starting off in the negative, because generally wide bodies are slower, and I like a game that's fast and kind of brutal. Well, first of all, this game's brutal, and the fact that it is a wide body, they've utilized that whole entire playfield to create something that's interesting. It's not just taking up space. It's not a wide body just to be a wide body. There's a lot to do on it. There's at least 2 spinners, if not more, I think. It's got inline drops. It's got some interesting. It's got 2 scoops at the top to kind of hit and kind of when it's up on top to kind of play a game of nudging it and trying to make it fall in the scoop. It's got the flippers on the left side that, if you're not careful, can go right through them, just like in Harlem. It's got a little mini upper left flipper. There's a lot going on in this game, and as someone who likes Harlem Globetrotters, this is kind of taking it a step further, using some of those same concepts, but just making more to do in a game and providing more opportunities, and just being brutally fun.
Amazing artwork too. I love the art.
Yeah, it's pretty cool artwork.
So awesome. All right, number 2. We're getting to the top of the list here. My number 2, I had to put it on my list. It's Black Knight.
Black Knight.
Yep.
Not on my list.
Yeah. So the Steve Ritchie classic.
I'm surprised. I did not know that.
Yeah. There you go. What's not Black Knight? If this was a late solid state, if late solid states were included, Black Knight 2000 would beat it out because it's just simply on the soundtrack. But the original Black Knight, you got to give props to Black Knight. It's just a classic game, cool theme. Steve Ritchie yelling at you, "Give me your money." And yeah, the upper playfield with where you can loop it around and get the multi-ball. Love it. Little turnaround. I mean, if you played 2000, it's basically the same layout, but what's not to like about Black Knight?
I wish I could like 2000. I just like the music, and then the fact that it's just the same shot all over and over again. I'm not a huge Black Knight fan.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I just don't dig it that much.
Fair enough.
My number 2 is Stargazer, and I can echo all of Kevin's comments. It's a unique game, great artwork, a bunch of spinners on it, targets, open play field, just Nick Lane written all over it. When you start adding those qualities up about the game,
just don't write Nick Lane on it because that would be bad. You're going to devalue your pinball machine.
That'd be weird too.
Yeah. All right, time for number 1s. I think we probably have the same number 1.
Yeah, this is not even fun at this point.
Yeah,
but,
the same thing happened when we
number
did
1 is.
Top 10 Sterns. We had the same
because it is such a good game.
We didn't. Honest to God, we did not.
No, we don't
collaborate on these lists.
We don't talk about it even beforehand.
I'm actually. I'm glad we have a lot of different picks on our list. So that's
we
great.
do. Yeah.
But number 1 is Fathom.
Number 1 is Fathom for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got everything. Right.
It does.
Beautiful artwork. Amazing call outs that everybody, it starts talking, you start repeating it. It's got, spinners, inline drop targets, the crazy around the top shot like we were talking about on 8-Ball Champ. Light the spinner, hit the fish spinner, make him go crazy, make the awesome sound.
It's cool, like locking the ball, then the drops go up and you're trying to knock them down, or even in competition, do you want to be first or second? I don't know. It's such a cool game.
Yep.
Beautiful game too. I mean, that just looks great.
Yep. Speaking of Tommy Skinner, he just got one of those too. He's getting one like professionally restored too.
No, he's crushing it.
He's doing it right. Awesome. So
you know what we didn't have?
What didn't we have?
I'm surprised you didn't have it.
Let's do some honorable mentions.
And Pinball Howard mentioned Centaur, which I know people might go after us.
That's on my honorable.
It's an honorable mention, but I don't love the game.
Yeah,
I've had one in my place for a while. I babysat one, had one on location. I've played Centaur a lot, and I know why people like it. It's cool. The artwork is unique. The artwork's cool.
I love the art.
You got the voice. It's got a good atmosphere for that era. I just don't find it that fun.
It's an amazing multi-ball game for that era too. It's got an auto launcher, so a lot of cool features that you didn't see until a lot later.
Yeah. I respect it. It's just not one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, cool game.
Ron mentioned Ron from Slam Tilt mentioned Alien Star.
Oh yeah.
I just haven't played that game enough. I know people love Alien Star, so I think if I spend a lot of time on it, maybe I would, feel differently about it. But yeah,
it's super fun to watch the high level players play on it at competitions. Super Orbit is another one that I have a good time watching, but I haven't really played. Another honorable mention. This is a game I played at the Ohio show, and I remember seeing it on Instagram, and I was like, "What is this?" And it's Aftor. Have you ever played Aftor?
No idea.
It's I don't know if it's technically considered an early solid state or if it's a later game, but
How do you spell that?
AF-TOR. It's Wico made it, WICO.
All right.
And it's got this crazy,
so.
like, kind of a Mad Max theme to it. Really weird and unique. The one I played wasn't set up super great. It wasn't in the best condition, so I would want to play a nicer one before I really, cast my final judgment on it. But
Yeah.
it's cool. Based on theme alone, it's awesome.
Okay. You have to look that up. I had no idea it existed.
Yep.
What's the game that Roger Sharp made? Was it Cyclops? Is that what it's called? Or?
Yeah, Cyclops.
So that game's kind of cool. I wish I can spend more time on it. I always play it when I go to Papa or Pinburgh because it's just interesting and different. So be an honorable mention just because I want to spend more time on it. Not a lot of those.
Yeah. One that I had on my list but didn't make the cut was Frontier.
Oh man, how
Kenny
did I forget
Rogers,
about,
dude. Kenny Rogers.
I have a soft spot for Frontier, but it's not terribly fun. Like it's kind of fun in competition to do like a couple things, but it's not. I don't know.
Crickets, man. It's all about the crickets.
The game goes for a lot of money for what it is. It's
crickets and Kenny Rogers.
I mean, yeah. All right,
That's
fine.
fine.
Whatever.
And Kenny Rogers wrestling bears. Come on.
Then we mentioned Barracora. Yeah, I think Barracora is a game that neither of us has spent a ton of time on. Quicksilver's a good game.
Yep. Like we said going into this, there's just so many that you couldn't get them all on the list.
Quicksilver's good. I like Quicksilver, no doubt. Is it in my top 10? I don't know.
And we didn't do Fireball Classic either. That didn't make.
I don't
list.
like Fireball Class Fireball Classic. Well, I own a Fireball 2 and it's not a top. I can tell it's not a top 10. I don't even know if that's a top 20.
Yeah.
I like it, but I don't love it.
The one you have is a beautiful example.
It's a beautiful
of it.
example,
That's
so
awesome.
that's why that's the collector in me, I guess, owning that.
All right. So if you disagree with our lists or you want to throw your suggestions at us, do it on Twitter or you can email us talkpinball@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what we missed. I'm sure there are some. Or if you're watching on YouTube, throw them in the comments.
Well, speaking of Jungle Lord, that is our review for this episode of Birdie Even Talk Pinball. And what we did in honor of the fact that we had some solid state games, we let our Patreon supporters pick which game out of 3 that we suggested to them, and they chose Jungle Lord. So that will be the game that we're reviewing this episode.
All right, I don't know why XSplit has been doing this. It's supposed to play the video from the beginning when I click the button. And sometimes it doesn't. So let's try it again.
Let's go.
Look at that.
Ooh, God, somebody's got to paint that that cabinet.
The cabinet's
the
a little
back glass
rough.
looks okay.
Yeah. Well,
usually they're destroyed.
Yeah, the back glass is really super nice. But this is Jungle Lord. Jungle Lord is a Williams machine from 1981. They made 6,000 of these, so it's
a healthy number.
A lot of Jungle Lords out there, and I think that plays into the price range that Pinside puts it in. It puts it in a $740 to $860 price range.
I paid $1,000 for mine, which is the cabinet and back glass. Everything's really nice. There's some wear on the upper play field. That's the only kind of blemish in the game.
It's a Barry Ausler design, and Constantino Mitchell did the artwork. So I didn't know it was a Barry Ausler game. So they got their mileage out of that design. They just kept reusing it and reusing it and reusing it. Mm-hmm. So there you go. So
what other game has that design?
Well, you were saying like Solar Fire and all that.
Oh, it's I don't know about the concept, but it's the concept, not necessarily like a 1-to-1 design.
Okay.
So like Black Knight is one of those games.
Yeah.
So it's the concept's there.
Putting it in the upper play field.
Yeah. But it's not
the
like
3 ramps
it's
going
not
up to the
just
top.
like a reskin or anything like that.
Yeah. Flash Gordon's similar to like that too.
Yeah. So Flash Gordon allegedly the story I heard behind that, which I don't know if it's true, but like I guess they discovered at Bally that Williams was making like this upper playfield game, and like they defected or they stole the plans or they found the plans, and that was their response to that.
It was like a secret agent.
It was a single ball game. So I don't know.
There you go.
Anyways,
Black Knight, Jungle Lords, Pharaoh, and Solar Fire, says Ron from the Slam Podcast. So
Thank you.
Thanks,
Ron. I know I was missing Solar Fire. All right, art in Jungle Lord. You know what?
Let's take a look at some.
Yeah, let's look at it. So, not great art. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. There's a lot going on.
I like the backlash.
Yeah, the tigers.
The backlash
It's pretty intense.
There's a lot happening there.
It's not great,
Yeah.
but it's not bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just not like it's not great. It's not great. It's not bad.
Yeah. Would you say it gets the job done?
It's my usual review, right?
That's what we say.
The catchphrase gets the job done.
Hashtag gets the job done.
It's interesting.
Let's look at the playfield.
I don't love how it looks in my lineup.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like the playfield art is like that's not good.
That's not
That
good.
is not good.
What is that? Like an Atari manual or something from the early 80s?
No, the Atari manuals were great. This is not great.
Yeah. The upper playfield looks a little better. I don't know. It's not great.
Yeah.
It might be borderline bad. Like if
Yeah.
somebody's like Jungle Lord artwork's bad, I'm not going to argue with you.
When I think of it, I think about the backlash, and I like the backlash just because
Sure.
it's so kind of ridiculous.
Sure.
But that playfield art, I mean, look at those people.
Look
Yeah.
at them.
Not look. Her arms are like all weird. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, let's stop looking at the art. I think that says what it needs to say about looking at that art.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Sounds.
Sound.
Well, I kind of like the sound. It's got an elephant.
The elephant calls you on the phone.
It's got a phone that rings when you get to multi-ball. He's always, you, me, Jungle Lord. He's always
Yeah.
like talking the track mode.
Every time we stream from your house, he's yelling in the
Yeah,
background.
and it's just like the 80s, like, just,
That background
pulses.
music that like we don't, or background sound, because they didn't have music. They're like, we'll make this one tone and then we'll make it higher pitched and higher pitched and
So
higher
for-
pitched.
for-
So eventually it's just gonna like stop because it can't go any higher.
So for what it is, I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, for the era and what they're working with, I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm pro Jungle Lord sound.
It's got the crazy background sound. It's got some speech. It's
Yeah.
got some pew 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 sounds, which is the sounds that they made back then.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're in the jungle, it's gonna sound like you're in a space battle.
Yeah.
That's the early '80s for you.
So we have toys, which doesn't really apply to early solid state game, but it does have some gimmicks that we can count as toys. It's got the pachinko machine, which is unique, right? I don't know.
I've got a close up of that.
Any
here.
other games that do that?
There it is.
So the way that works is when you hit it into a scoop, it will shoot in the top left corner. It will shoot a ball, and you have no control over it, other than maybe trying to nudge, and even that's next to impossible. And it's going to fall into one of 4 slots, and each spot corresponds to spelling Lord. And when you spell Lord, you get to multi-ball.
That's when the elephant calls.
So that's one way to do it. You can also do it by hitting down drop targets on the lower playfield. So it's kind of cool because you can spot a couple targets without shooting these. You can spot a couple letters without shooting these dangerous targets. So that's inventive. It's something different. It's not like I don't have like a love or hate or anything behind it. It's just different and interesting. And then the magnets, of course. We talked about the magnet save. I really like how the magnet save works on this game as opposed to Black Knight that just holds it. And that's sort of, you hit it, holds in Black Knight, and holds it. You're like, all right, let it go, let it go. All right, let it go. And then it sometimes even drops in the out lane.
Yeah.
This you can pulse it. Kevin said earlier that you can pulse into the out lanes, but I think if you're more familiar with the game and you see it heading over there, you just hit the pulse again.
From the other side?
No. You just hit it like when you pulse the magnet. Let's say it's going out the left, and the left magnet, you pulse it, and then if you see it trying to go that way, you just pulse it again. Maybe it's in the technique, but you shouldn't be pulsing it into the out lane. Sometimes you might hit it and just miss it, maybe, or whiff it. Maybe it's helping accelerate it. I don't know. But it's cool. There's some skill and technique to using those magnets in the game. So this game's kind of loaded.
I like it. It's definitely loaded.
I get what you were saying about not thinking. I mean, it's from like what? It's
81.
from 81.
That's crazy.
It's got a lot going on.
Yeah. It's packed. So while it might not have like toys, this was kind of before the era of official like toys and pinball machines. There's a lot happening in here. All right, let's talk DMD and lighting. Well, there's no DMD. We can talk about numeric display and lighting.
Is the video glitching? It's giving you seizures?
It's sometimes when we go to the slideshow, it does that. But
All right.
we'll all get through it. We can get through it together.
Seizure warning. You can't come after us.
We have to start putting that at the beginning of the streams.
All right.
Yeah, it's just something weird with XSplit that happens once in a while. Yeah, it has lights and it has numeric display. It's like
moving on.
next.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about. Okay, gameplay.
This is where it's all. This is all you.
So everything I said earlier in my, maybe you're watching this and not seeing the top 10. I like Jungle Lord. a lot because it utilizes the entire playfield. All shots have some value to them. I mean, you're just playing the whole game, and that's a sign of a game of good rules. There's 3 shots just to get to the upper playfield. That's great. The upper playfield is kind of exciting because you're trying to hit down these targets that increase in the number of targets, and also they're timed. Lower they're timed. There's a really tight shot that will put a ball save on for you. There's a kind of another like loop shot that's pretty tight. That was your bonus multiplier. It's really cool, smart design. The gameplay is absolutely fantastic on Jungle Lord.
Good job, Barry. You nailed it.
He did.
He did. I like it. It's brutal. Because the ramps go up to that upper playfield, and the upper playfield takes up such a big part of the playfield. It's tough, man. If you hit those posts, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah. I've kind of gotten dialed in on my game, but like when I first started playing and watching other people play at Pinburgh who don't know how to play Jungle Lord, it just
done
chews people up.
Yep. Everybody hates this game, I've heard.
Yeah.
All right, rules. I mean, you've kind of explained
I
it.
Spilled over there, but yeah, the rules are fantastic on that game.
Yeah, there's a lot to do. The playfield is packed. The rules are cool. Let's get to the last ability. It's been in your collection a while, right?
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. I absolutely love that game. I need to get that Playfield Protector on because the upper playfield on mine is starting to the paint's kind of coming up. So I would almost like to get maybe another replacement playfield, but I'm super happy with that. I love that game. I've had people say, look, if you want to sell it, they're in line for it. It's not going anywhere. Such a good game. Well, I wasn't joking about selling it, but I wasn't really going to sell it.
You're just kidding.
I'm just joshing.
Joshing, bro.
I think if anything, Fireball 2 would need to go. But it has to be like an equally... I don't know.
You need to get a really nice Fathom or something.
I know.
Yeah. Well, we have a Fathom to play at least. So
we do.
We're
good. We're doing
all right.
That's why nothing moves in my game room anymore.
That's right.
Just adding.
All right. So let's go over our scale. Hopefully you won't get any seizures on this. So
and this also, when we rate a game that's an early solid, we're talking about games in this era, right? This is not like if we give this game a 10, that doesn't mean it's the same.
It's better than Tron, or
right?
whatever,
If we give Tron a 9. If we give it a 9, it doesn't mean it's better than Tron. It's just for that era. This is how we feel about that game.
Let's see. I'm going to think about it. You go first.
All right. So the game is easily a 9 in my book. I think the only thing that holds it back is that the art's not killer. Imagine this game just had like amazing, awesome art to it, right? And I think I can't think what else I would want in it, to be honest. It's got it all. It's got multi-ball. I don't know if you mentioned that. Great. It's a 9 easily.
All right.
Yeah. Definitely see in my collection. Keeper. Buy
awesome. It. I'm at like I'm at an 8, I think, on it. I like it. I don't think I wouldn't go out and buy it immediately, probably because you have it and I can just go to your house and play it. But for me, I owned Grand Lizard, and the playfield's similar enough to that I'm like, I'm kind of good on it. I think there's more to do in Jungle Lord, but it's a great game, solid game, packed playfield. You're gonna love it if you own it. For the price, the Pinside estimated price range right now is great on it.
There's plenty of them out there too. Apparently.
So yeah, go ahead and grab a Jungle Lord.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, it's Q&A time on Birdie Even Talk Pinball. All right, so we reached out to you guys. If you guys ever have questions throughout the month, you can hit us up on Twitter. You can join our Discord, discord.gg/Buffalo Pinball, get you in there. Or you can email us, talkpinball@gmail.com. We'll start off with Twitter. So Pindaddy TV, he helps us out. He does some editing for us on YouTube. He's got a question. He says, who gave you the best single game strategy advice? What game? And if you can remember, what were the circumstances?
Go ahead.
Okay. For me, the first thing that came to mind was I was at Pinburgh. We were out at dinner. I think this was the year that it was my son's birthday at Pinburgh. It was Papa. It was birthday at Papa. And because this was before I was playing in Pinburgh. And I was like, I need to play Space Shuttle. What do I have to do? And Bruce said, hit the spinner. And that was it. And I was like, okay, that was before I owned a Space Shuttle. So ever since, I've been hitting the spinner, and I've been getting high scores on Space Shuttle. So there you go.
All right. I'm sorry. I can't think of one. I'm sure in my 7+ years of playing pinball, people have recommended strategy advice and given me great advice. I just don't Nothing sticks out. Sorry.
You're hearing it here, for folks. Nick Lane needs no advice. So when you're at a pinball tournament, don't bother giving Nick any tips.
You know what? I get advice. Probably goes in one ear out the other because I'm stubborn. But I do need advice. So, all right.
That's Pin Daddy TV. Thank you for the question. At Go Blue Griff on Twitter asks, "What is your dream theme?" I would love a Seinfeld pin. I feel like we've been asked this.
That's what Griff said.
Griff says he would love Seinfeld. Yeah. I feel like we've been asked this, and it's kind of a go-to question, but Nick is obsessing about his wireless charging over here.
Need to tell the podcast people listen to it in the cars. They don't need to know.
Yeah, they do. They need to know what's going on. So when I'm like sounding like I'm distracted, it's because I'm watching you charge your phone up on my wireless charging pad. What was the question? Oh yeah, dream theme. I have no idea.
I know we've been asked this before. I know we talked about it on the stream, but I struggle to think about the dream theme. And Kevin and I talked about this before the podcast. I almost don't entertain a dream theme because I just know it will never happen. Mm-hmm. So I'll give you a couple themes that I really like. I'll try to plow through this. So Lebowski was a dream theme until they made it.
Many would say the same about Ghostbusters.
Oh, you know what I really want? I want a Black Dynamite pinball machine. That's what I want. That's my dream theme. Black Dynamite all the way.
Ooh, Office Space is a good one. I could go for that.
An Arrested Development would be an awesome pinball machine. Mm-hmm. You Go Blue Griff said Seinfeld. I'd see your Seinfeld, and I'm gonna raise you a Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Ooh, that's good.
Pretty good multi-ball.
It'd be pretty good.
Yeah. That'd be great.
I mean, and I know
I would love. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this to myself.
Now you're just setting your expectations.
I would love a Curb Your Enthusiasm.
You know,
have like what 10 seasons now, something ridiculous. Like, come on, there's so much material there.
You know who's gonna end up making that is Deep Root or somebody. And then you're going to be like, no,
well,
I don't
want somebody to mess it up. I don't want somebody to butcher it.
I know we have Medieval Madness, but I'd love a Monty Python on the Holy Grail theme. That'd be fun. Crazy Colors, chopping the Black Knight's arms off and stuff like that. There you go. There's your dream theme.
All right. Keep on asking us. It will change all of the time, but that's
we'll think of something different next time.
Yeah.
All right. HSJ I think that, or 3. I don't know, whatever. 3 I's, 3 L's. He asks, what upcoming / rumored machine are you guys most excited about? And I had an answer to this until I read the second sentence, and he says, I'm going to remove Jersey Jack Pinball Pirates from the list of possibilities because you guys covered it at Expo. Not only did we cover it at Expo, both of us ordered one at Expo. So I think by default that makes it our most anticipated game.
He knows that.
Outside of that, though, what are the rumors we got?
I heard they're making a Deadpool. So I like the Deadpool movie. I mean, who didn't, right? So that sounds awesome.
Iron Maiden.
But if Deadpool comes out, it's probably just going to be in the first movie. I wish they wouldn't push it because I heard that's coming out. I feel like within the next year.
Golden Girls. Yeah, that's a great one.
So
that's the one Keith Allen's working on, right?
What was the one you said? Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
You're excited for that?
No, I'm just throwing it out there as another option.
I think if anything, Deadpool, but really Pirates of the Caribbean. I know you said we can't say it, but come on, it's the truth.
I got a real answer. Outside of Pirates, it's got to be Alice Cooper. I don't care about the theme. I'm really intrigued to see what's going on that playfield because from the little teasers we've seen and the descriptions that I've heard, and I really like the shot of the DMD that shows the kind of comic book art and you working your way through the houses in the haunted house or in the castle. I don't know. It's just got me kind of like, all right, we'll see what's going on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Alice Cooper.
Okay.
All right. Off to Discord. Skip Natty, who's in our chat right now, he says, if you could have any Stern solid state game, we covered a lot of these in the top 10, Sea Witch, Stargazer, etc. Which one would you want and why?
So Stargazer, which was my number 2 on the top 10 list. And I again, it's a beautiful machine. I feel like I'm just a pure collector saying that, but I do like how the machine looks, and it plays great, and it's something that's original, unique, and it has an open playfield. It's got spinners. It's got a lot of cool things going to it. One thing I didn't mention that I like about it too is games like that and Sea Witch. They have this thing where you really can't aim for the shots. You got to get it up there and then use the pop bumpers to kind of hit the targets. That's kind of cool and different. It can be frustrating, right, if you want to hit that. But I like having a game like that in my collection, and I don't. Yeah,
I mean, of my list, Stargazer was at the top. But second to that, I'd probably pick 9-ball because It's like all the things we talked about. Cool drop target action and that spinner. It's all about that spinner.
We played what was it, Catacombs? We played a bunch of
that. Yeah, that was cool.
That was like I could spend more time on that and maybe learn it a little bit better. Like
Yeah.
it's seems somewhat interesting to me.
And to figure out whatever is going on that back glass.
Yeah.
Is like a little mini game up there. So cool. Some Skip Natty says he'd go Dragon Fist, but Stargazer is second. Okay. Good picks. All right, what's next? Let's see. Going to email.
Ron said Cheetah. I see. I
haven't
know
played
you guys
Cheetah
love
enough.
Cheetah. I've only played it in like Pinburgh and a bank, and seemed cool. Need to spend more time with it, but that's good answer. Good answer.
Big Game's another one they talk about all the time that I haven't really.
Big Game's good. Big Game's good.
Yeah.
I've played a bunch of that.
I don't have enough time on it to make a judgment, so it's out of consideration. All right, we got an avalanche of questions from Proco. He says greetings from Germany. So he has. Do you agree or disagree with the following statements and why?
We might just not even do the why. We might just run through it.
Okay, do you agree or disagree with the statement? I would rather have bumpers on the playfield than with top lanes.
I don't know what he means by that.
So I'm going to interpret it as: do you want pop bumpers on the playfield or rollover lanes?
Every
at
game
the
has
top?
pop bumpers.
No,
like,
they don't.
well, I know, but like
No. There's none on No Fear. There's none on what's the other? Judge Dredd. There's more than you think. Like, to me, honestly, I could take or leave either. But of the two, rollover lanes, especially nowadays, are pointless. All they do is like upgrade your bonus. You complete the letters, you get your 2x bonus. Like, who cares?
Sorta,
At least the pop bumpers have some impact on gameplay. Generally,
Yes.
unless it's in a stern and it's like just a little captive area that it returns out
yeah,
safely
they both seem
anyways.
pointless these days.
Yeah, so who cares? Take them both out. He says, display. Do you agree or disagree with this? Displays on the playfield are unnecessary. The information should instead be presented in lights and callouts like they used to.
Agree 100%. You do not. I get the idea, and I appreciate the innovation that Highway did with Alien and Full Throttle, putting the display in the playfield. But honestly, we're so trained as pinball players. I'm not looking at that. When the ball's in motion, I'm just really not. It's not that hard for me to look up and see what's going on, because even when the display is on the playfield, when the ball's in play, you're not looking at that. You still have to have a moment to breathe to look at the display, and it's just as easy to look up, and plus you're trained that way. So yeah, I could leave it.
I'm going to throw a curveball out there. What about something like the phone on Dialed In or the book on Hobbit, where it's telling you specific things related to the mode you're in right now? These are the shots you should hit. I think it's a good thing. When as the rule sets get more and more complicated, and there's more action going on, you got crazy multi-balls, I gotta let me just glance up real quick and be like, all right, 3 more shots on this, 3 more stand-ups I gotta hit.
I don't know why, but I do like that better. I mean, I look at it. I look at the one in Hobbit, and I look at the one on the phone on Dialed In. I never even considered that. I just went straight to the idea of putting the display
in the playfield.
In the playfield.
Yeah.
Like I'm firmly against that.
Or what about something like the P-Rock or the P3 platform where the whole thing is a screen?
No, it's not for me.
You're anti big screen.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's okay. Skipping it or Sir Venom. Thanks for the host with 17 viewers. Appreciate that. All right. Next question.
And it also takes up real estate for art that you can have. It sort of interrupts it, and as
it does.
Pete Even says that you're paying more for that. I don't know. I do like how it is utilized and dialed in Hobbit, because I do use that. Like, that's what I look at in truth. So, but I never use it in Full Throttle or Alien.
I never look at it.
Yeah,
I thought at first I'd be like,
about it. It's
oh,
weird.
this would be great. And I guess they probably,
but I don't know why.
I don't know. It's giving you the information that's on the back box, but right there.
But why do I look at it in Hobbit and dialed in? Right, and I like that, but I don't look at it in Alien Highway.
Maybe because it's giving you something different, something very specific, rather than just a replication of what's on the back glass.
Yeah, because, I mean, in Hobbit or Dialed In, all I'm looking for is how many more shots, and I can find that information quickly.
Yep.
I guess that would be it.
That's probably the difference.
Interesting. Oh, that's an interesting question.
There you go. Arcade. I know we've done this before, and I guess we're stealing a little bit from Slam Tilt. It's basically game you like, game you hate. He says, I can declare a pinball machine as my all-time most hated, most liked.
I think we might have to table some of these questions because we're going to be here till all night.
All right, we've done that one before, so we'll move on. Manufacturers should cooperate with Pindigo and implement it with QR codes like JJP does it with Twitter, or do something to keep global high scores themselves.
Sure, next.
Absolutely, yes. I would rather have more multi-balls over modes.
I don't know. I don't need a game where you're always in multi-ball.
Yeah.
All right. So, not necessarily.
Yeah. Manufacturers should provide more information about the rules, especially filtered for different target groups. For example, the rules aren't on this apron anymore. Go take a look at this.
Yes,
website.
or something. At least communicate that there's rules. I like, now that we have these screens, right, they should be showing it on the screen, some at least basic rules, or something like for additional rules or
during
something.
attract mode, like on Wizard of Oz, it shows the tree of all the things you need to do.
I mean, that might be overwhelming for people, but I think the idea of even just having, here's basic pinball rules, and then you can get into deeper. I don't know, but that's good. Yes, something should be done.
Like on Dialed In, it's like pull the plunger, hit the start button, real basic stuff that even, the person who's never played pinball before needs to know. They should put one really difficult shot in every game.
There should be one really difficult shot in every. So you get into there should be, or there has to be, or there always or never.
It's absolutes. Yes or no.
Yeah.
Black or white, no
All
gray.
right, so it's nice to have a difficult shot in the game, but there shouldn't always. This necessarily has to always be one.
Yeah, I agree.
There we get down to logic and my philosophy background. Like, all right, I see trigger words like that. That's my trigger word. Absolutes.
There's no gray area.
Yeah.
Right. We've had enough music band pins.
I think music band pins are welcome. I don't think they're going too crazy with it. I mean, if you're certain you're releasing 3 titles a year, let's say you actually do that, and one of them's a music pin, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I think they might run out of bands to really pull from, but not necessarily.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Mm-hmm. There is a pinball machine I would choose to play over others because of how bad the game is.
Ooh, I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Hard Body.
Yeah. Not to own, but sure, we would play it.
I would
we
play
would
it.
go up and play it because it's bad.
It's bad, yeah. All right, and that's it. He says, "Have fun with the podcast and the obligatory greetings."
Well,
from
thank
Germany.
you for the questions. They were thoughtful questions.
Yeah.
I had to really mull them over.
He could have spaced those out over like the next 6 shows.
I mean, well, some of them we really could have dived deep into them. So hopefully these quick answers are okay.
Gordon says Street Fighter 2. I would not choose to play that because it's so bad. I've had enough Street Fighter 2 in my life. All right, so let's wrap this show up, shall we?
Do it. This is all you.
All right. So give us a follow. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Discord, all the other things. There's even a group on whatever that thing is, Steam.
Jay Fairbrother is now on Discord.
Oh
so
my God.
You can chat with Jay, like Jay on demand.
Discord.gg/Buffalo Pinball.
All the questions you've ever wanted to ask Jay. See, we get to mention him. You'd think I wasn't going to talk about Jay Fairbrother, but there he is.
We were close. We almost closed it.
Yep.
You can talk to him about Meat Mountains all day if you want.
Yeah, there's some emotes in the chat today I saw.
Oh, yeah. If you want to talk about it, give us some feedback about the show or ask questions, send us an email, talkpinball@gmail.com. If you want to
Jay on
demand. Follow and sub us on Twitch if you want to. It's a great way to support us. If you haven't checked us out, we stream live pinball 5 days a week. Us and a number of partner streamers that we have on our stream team. And the Patreon's all you. You got to do the Patreon.
So yeah, we got a Patreon group, and one of the reasons we created that because not everybody's watching us on Twitch on the streams. We actually have a lot more people listening to us on the podcast. So if you like what we're doing and you want to say thank you, one of the best ways to do so is to take 5 minutes out of your day and be a Patreon subscriber. You can do it for the low price of $1 a month. It comes out automatically once you set up a payment. You never have to think about it again. And if you want to be a real baller and really show us how much you appreciate us, you can go to the $5 level or any level, really. But at the $5 level,
sky's the limit, really.
You'll get to influence what we review each month. We at least will put up a poll for you to vote on, and we welcome game suggestions from our Patreon supporters. So thank you for everybody who continues to do so. We appreciate the generosity.
And Goran offered up a new thing that we could make another Patreon level, Jay on Demand for $8 a month. What do you think? New level?
I thought you wanted us to be positive, Kevin.
I'm just being positive.
Okay.
I love Jay.
Yeah.
He's been playing really well at pinball lately too.
He's
won a tournament.
He's
been playing great. He beat me on the Bro
We didn't
Show.
really talk about that, did we?
Let's talk about it.
Jay won his first tournament, so congrats to Jay. He won the Guardians of the Galaxy launch party. He beat out myself and Jeff Worth.
Yep.
So it was pretty much a bro battle at the end.
Please, let's get some meat mountains in chat in honor of Jay Fairbrother winning his first pinball tournament.
He's stoked.
His
He's got his trophy.
Yeah. It's hanging up in his right above his fireplace.
He and what's amazing is he qualified first on that machine. He blew the machine up. He got like 110 or 20 or something in qualifying. But then he had a huge ball 3, which would make Steve Daniels proud, to win the finals against Jeff and I and this other guy, Drew. And he got like 150, 160 on Guardians of the Galaxy. He got like a 60 million jackpot. Now, Jay obviously has no idea how he did this, and neither do I, to be honest. But it was quite amazing.
One thing we've learned over the past month or so is that if there's a game with like one thing to do, like Space Jam or Guardians of the Galaxy,
well, he
excels.
Yeah, he's on my team for Team League, and what I appreciate about Jay is that he welcomes coaching. And when I go up there, I'm like, hit that shot, hit that. Like I think he's got a lot of the fundamentals and good decision making. I just don't know if he ever really pays attention to rules. I think that's his downside.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, we'll call it an episode. Thanks for tuning in for episode 25 of Brody Even Talk Pinball.
Catch you next month for more J Talk.
All right. Keep it positive, everybody.